back to our final book review of the month of March. If you're new here, we've been reading this book, which is the Introvert Entrepreneur. So if you're new, please go back to our videos. We've shared a few videos on the first, second, third, and the fourth chapter. So find time to go through so that you're up to speed and we're moving on the same page. So today we're going to talk about 4 main important topics that are in this book as we summarize it. As an introvert, we know that networking is something that is actually very difficult for us because we are naturally people who actually feed on our own energy, and actually going and we are interacting with a lot of people, it actually drains us and it brings us down energy wise. So it is important for us to actually find out tools and strategies on how we can effectively network, because it is inevitable as an entrepreneur and in business. So one of the 3 things that I'm going to highlight is actually, firstly, you need to concentrate on quality over quantity. As you go for a networking event, it is important for you to be specific on what you're looking for, on who you want to network with, who you want to connect with. It is important for you to go with an agenda on what your business needs at that time. If you're looking for a partner, if you're looking for collaboration, if you're looking for an influencer, be deliberate, and as you're interacting, be deliberate and interact with those people. Exhaust all your energy on them so that at the end of the day you would have done something productive with that networking event. It is important for us to actually build on our strength, which is listening, asking questions, and attentiveness as we go to these networking events. It is important for us to actually ask those questions that we need to ask, be deliberate on the person we want to interact with, ask them and be attentive to their answers, and that will actually help us build better relationships and have a very deeper connection with them. Thirdly, we need to be intentional on having an effective communication pattern with whoever it is that we're interacting with. So some strategies for effective communication are actually being attentive, listening, asking open-ended questions. That we know is going to help us have authentic relationships or have authentic conversation, have deeper conversations of which we actually thrive in. So it is important for us to actually have those effective communication and be deliberate on it. Lastly, you need to follow up. I know this is something that most introverts don't like to do because it requires you to actually be the first to take the first step of following up on your prospect client or your prospect partner or your prospect collaborator, whoever it may be. But it is very important for us to actually follow up. We both know that entrepreneurship or business is actually built on relationships and not money. So it is important for us to actually start the follow-up so that we start building those relationships that are necessary for our business to go forward. Since we know how introverts thrive on and how they easily get burnt out, it is important for us to know how we can manage our time and our energy wisely so that we avoid such things. It is important for us to actually take practices such as prioritizing self-care, because that is very important in an entrepreneurship journey. As we know that burning out is actually very normal and it is inevitable as an entrepreneur, it is important for us to actually build a self-care routine that works for you. This may look like exercising, it may look like journaling, it may look like cooking or baking if that's what relaxes you. It may look like taking solo walks, it may look like just listening to reflective insights that you like and that just talk to your soul. It is important for us to incorporate that to our journey so that we're able to avoid being burnt out and actually refuel our energy every now and then. It is also important for us to create an introvert-friendly workplace. An introvert-friendly workplace may look like a place that has, let's say, a lot of plants or more sunlight, more natural light. It may also look like places that are less clustered, because the more clustered it is, the more clustered your brain is. It is true what they say that the more clustered your area is or wherever you stay is, that's how your brain and your mind is. So it is important for us to actually clear that out, and as introverts we are mostly minimalist. So it is important for us to create such environments and put that as a priority in our setup. It is also important for us to honor solitude and reflectiveness. This may look like after a long day, like taking a jog or taking a solo walk. It may look something like that because it is important for us to honor that solitude, because that's what we thrive on. Don't ever take that away and think that maybe you're asking too much or maybe you can do without it. It is what we feed on, so it is very important for us to feed that because that's what feeds us. We know that as an introvert, being a leader is inevitable when you're an entrepreneur. You are the vision carrier. you have the plans for the company, you have employed some people, and hence you're a leader by default. So it is important for us to know how a leader is and how you can carry yourself as a leader. We know that we don't really thrive on talking too much and spreading so much motivation because we easily get burnt out. So it is important for us to actually find tactics that can work for us. One thing I'd like to talk about is actually how us as leaders, introvert leaders, we actually thrive more on how we come out. With how our leadership style is more on how we carry ourselves. So it is important for us to actually be deliberate on how we carry ourselves, how we conduct ourselves, how we show up, because that is how we lead. We lead as people see how we behave or how we carry ourselves. That is how they also get to be who they are and how they tend to behave a certain way in an organization. So it is important for us to be deliberate and to carry ourselves as those leaders that we aspire to be. Lastly, as we summarize this whole book, I would like to just go through a few points that we've already talked about, which is we need to embrace our introverted strength. Our strengths we know are introspection, asking insightful questions, being attentive, building relationships, having those deep relationships and deep communication skills. So it's important for us to actually build on that because that is what will hold us and that is what holds the business at large. We shouldn't be dismayed because of how extroverted other people may be and how loud they may be in their business or whatever they do. It is important for us to actually stay true to ourselves, to our strengths and to our core, because that's what will take our businesses a step further. Secondly, we need to be self-aware. We need to cultivate that self-awareness. With so much things that come up, with so much information that is bombarded, we live in an era full of knowledge and full of information. It is important for us to stay true and aware of who we are and what we want to achieve. So we need to cultivate that self-awareness in us and we need to make sure we don't depart from it. We need to build that resilience as it is important in entrepreneurship. We know that so many things are going to come up, and whether you're employed or whether you're a business owner, we know that resilience is something that you must actually thrive on and you must actually build that muscle, because hard times are going to come and you need to be resilient. You need to withstand all the pressure that can come your way. That's very, very important. So we also need to foster authentic connections. We know that people can actually take it when we are lying or when we are pretending, whether we are pretending a certain personality or we are pretending to be a particular person that we are not at our core. People have this innate belief of just knowing when something is not true. So we need to foster authentic connections. We need to be authentic to ourselves, authentic in how we deliver, how we talk, how we show up. And then we can have those authentic connections, because when you're authentic, people will naturally be true as well and also come out just as open and as authentic you are. Lastly, I would like to encourage you to actually find joy along the journey. As you start this journey as an introvert, it is important for you to know that it is a journey. It is not something that you're going to retire in 1 year or 5 years. If you're going to live for up to 40, 50 years, we know that at least 25 or 30 years of your lifetime is going to be invested in this business or this startup that you have put out there. So it's important for you to find joy along the way. It is important for you to enjoy the process, to take all those hardships as lessons and just build on that. As time goes by as an introvert, you know that those hardships are what you actually thrive on. You thrive on challenges, you thrive on fixing problems. We are creative human beings and we thrive on being creative and showing up authentically. So it is important for us to actually find joy along the way, be authentic and love the whole process and love the journey. So thank you so much. This is the end of the book review of the month of March, and stay tuned. The next book will be advertised probably tomorrow or the other day on what we're going to be talking about for the month of April. So if you like what we do, we actually have one-on-one sessions where we go in depth of these insights. We have one-on-one book reviews. I'm a book coach for some of you who may not know. So if you're interested, please get in touch. We'll leave the number on the description below and you can get in touch and we can go in depth in each and every session that we've talked about, and you can ask questions on a personal level and we can help you in that direction. Thank you and God bless.